Give me the argument, the best argument you know, for the power of cinema.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to Peliculas with the Bros. My name is Adrian.
My name is Ivan.
And we are back. This is a podcast where me and my brother discuss movies. Sometimes we'll do TV shows, like in the last episode we did TV shows, but primarily it's a podcast, a show where we discuss movies, Ivan.
Mm-hmm.
What is the movie du jour today?
Space Jam, A New Legacy.
Nice. Yes, Space Jam, A New Legacy. The movie that just came out with LeBron James, the sequel to the 1996 film. But before we get into all that, I just want to say thank you to whoever's listening, whoever's watching. And if you don't mind, please smash that thumbs up button. Hit the subscribe button if you haven't. We publish a new show every week, so you can expect a new episode every week from us. And I think we're going to start talking about like the latest and greatest movies. We'll talk about the next movie after we discuss Space Jam. But so if you're into movies, if you're into podcasts, if you're into silly guys talking about good or bad movies, you've come to the right place. So hit that subscribe button and enjoy the show. Ivan, let's get into it. Space Jam, A New Legacy. The premise of this film: LeBron James desperately wants his two boys to follow in his footsteps in playing basketball. But his youngest son, Dom, is more interested in game development. One day, some Warner Brothers execs invite LeBron over to pitch him on a movie backed by new AI technology. LeBron passes on the movie, which infuriates the now sentient AI, who decides to take LeBron and his prisoner, along with his son, to the Warner Brothers serververse.
Mm-hmm.
Wink, wink, serververse. What dastardly plan is this AI up to? Interesting. With the cast of LeBron James, of course, as himself. Don Cheadle as Algae Rhythm, and Cedric Joe. What's a weirder thing than to have two first names?
Two last names.
That's true. So like James Johnson,
James is the first name.
but it could be.
Eufracio.
How about like Turner Gonzalez?
Yeah.
Turner's actually a good first name. Anyways, along with these three guys who are primarily the main cast, we have some voice actors. I wanted to bring this up because this is a sort of like a mesh of animation live action movie, right? So the same guy, Jeff Bergman, is playing the following characters: Bugs Bunny, Sylvester, Yosemite Sam, Fred Flintstone, and Yogi Bear. It's interesting how like animated actors or voice actors can do multiple voices. It's a talent, right?
Mm-hmm.
We also have Eric Bauza as Daffy Duck, Porky Pig, Foghorn Leghorn, Elmer Fudd, and Marvin the Martian. And then to round out this illustrious voice acting cast, we have Zendaya as Babs Bunny and Gabriel Iglesias as Speedy Gonzalez.
Sure.
And then, of course, it's not Space Jam with a couple of real-life basketball players. So we have Anthony Davis as himself, Damian Lillard as himself, Klay Thompson as himself, Nneka Ogwumike, or Mike, or yeah, something like that, as herself, and Diana Taurasi as herself. Do you know any of these basketball players?
By their face. Not the women basketball players.
You said it yourself, brother.
Yeah.
I knew Diana Taurasi. I think she's like one of the greatest players in WNBA history and one of the greatest shooters. Obviously, don't know enough about her to give her just due. Anyways, let's talk about this movie, Ivan. The backstory of this movie. Obviously, it's a sequel to the 1996 classic Space Jam, starring Michael Jordan. They have been trying to make a sequel to that movie for a long time. They've talked about making one with Jackie Chan.
Okay.
That was sort of like Spy Jam,
Mm-hmm.
a spy-related movie with jam at the end. Tony Hawk, so Skate
That would have been
Jam.
good. They should have done that.
Tiger
Those
Woods.
idiots. No, they should have done Tony Hawk.
We'll get there.
No.
Jeff Gordon,
Nope.
Race Jam.
No.
Yeah, Tony Hawk seems like the obvious candidate. I was listening to an interview with Tony Hawk, and he was saying that it was pretty close, that they pitched it to him. He agreed. They're like, okay, we'll do it. And then Looney Tunes Back in Action came out with Brendan Fraser, and that bombed. So they were like, yeah, never mind. We're not going to do this film. Utter disappointment by the executive, Ivan Eufracio. Anyways, so this movie has been long speculated, off and on. I've always hoped it was going to be Kobe that was going to don the shoes and
Should've
make Space
been.
Jam 2. Should have been. I didn't read that it was a thing, but I always wanted that as a Kobe fan. Anyways, we're in 2014, and Warner Brothers announces that LeBron James is going to be in the sequel. Mixed reactions for me, because at the time he's not part of the Lakers, so I still hate him.
Jeez.
And then, see, Ivan doesn't know about the world of sports, the fandom that comes with sports. You know, it's funny because, like, there's two kinds of fandoms. There's the, like, I guess comic book / movie fandom. And then there's, like, the real fandom, the original fandom, which is sports. And that's more like war. Like, do you go with the Bloods or the Crips? Do you go with the Lakers or the Knicks? Do you go, or the Celtics in this case? That's a different atmosphere. So LeBron James, Space Jam, I'm like, nah. Then 2018 comes around, I'm like, okay, he's a Laker now. Come on in. It is gross. It is gross. It's human nature. Shoot me if you want to shoot me. Anyways, Warner Brothers says, LeBron, you're next. They hired Terrence Nance as director. He's made a couple of movies at this time. And then we have Ryan Coogler that's going to executive produce. So we got some big dogs.
Yep.
Especially Coogler at this time. He's sort of blowing up because of Black Panther. And he's a hot ticket, so if he puts his name on something, it means a lot. Things sort of start to mess up when Terrence Nance backs out of being the director. He's like, the typical thing, creative differences. He pulled a Phil Lord, Han Solo thing. They get Malcolm D. Lee to take his place as director. Have you heard of him?
Mm-mm.
He's directed comedy movies such as Undercover Brother, Scary Movie 5, Girls Trip, Night School. So not like, he's obviously not a Stanley Kubrick, but he's like a reliable hand in the comedy industry. Ivan's like, it's all making sense now. And then the pandemic hits.
Mm-hmm.
Like all movies, this movie probably gets pushed back a year at least. But it comes out. It's coming out on HBO Max and in theaters, right? So choose your poison there. Where'd you watch it, Ivan?
Home.
Where? How?
HBO.
Oh, nice. Tell me more. Just kidding. Don't tell me more. I know there's not too much to that story. No. What were you expecting? TBH.
Not much. I heard murmurs of its quality. I was like, oh, okay. I understand. And I watched it, and they were right.
And what's your relation to the original Space Jam?
I liked it. It was a classic. A classic for me.
Was it a pillar in your childhood? Or not so much?
Not so much, but I liked it.
Okay. That's fair. For me, it was a pillar, but different times, 7 years
Yeah.
apart. You didn't like it. You agreed with the critics. The critic became the critique. That doesn't make sense. Don't mind me. Going into it, I was thinking something similar.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna be okay, at least. Not gonna be good. After watching it, I was like, it's not as bad as they're saying it. It's bad, but it's not like this is one of the worst movies of
Well,
the
yeah.
year, which is what I've heard. Like this is a horrible movie,
Oh, I
and
guess
that's completely not true.
I think it's just so mediocre. It destroys the spirit.
Yeah, and I think that's the thing with spin-offs, sequels, and more importantly, reboots, where people see it and there's like this mixed feeling of like, are they really rebooting it because of like they really have this unique vision, or is it a money grab?
I think they could have had a unique vision because like LeBron is like is the next Michael Jordan. Like he's this generation's that.
Right.
So it's like logical. Space Jam 2, either him or Kobe. But like LeBron is more money hungry in that direction. But like it makes sense. Like on paper, I'm like, yes, do it.
Right.
It could work. Like it's easy sequel. But I think they just like overcomplicated it or something.
Overcomplicated it how?
Like the last movie was just cartoon physics and all that stuff. This one was like all digitized server, and I feel like that's gonna age badly. But like Space Jam, not that it's like a 10 out of 10, but its premise is kind of timeless. Like even if you don't know Michael Jordan, it's just like this obviously good basketball player who went to baseball, and now the Looney Tunes recruited him, and he has to like save himself. And it's simple. And it's all cartoon stuff. And it's in like a cartoon world. But this is like in a server with algorithms and clickbait and
Yes.
Big Brother watches everything sort of thing. It's like, it feels weird.
Yeah, I completely understand what you're saying. I think what's missing primarily is that the original Space Jam had this like idiosyncratic nature where it's like it's kind of so odd and not trying to be. I feel like I'm force-fed Space Jam: A New Legacy, where Space Jam is more like organic.
Like Space Jam, it felt like they had fun making everything. This is like, I know it's about like an algorithm who figures out like the perfect way to do everything, but it also feels like this movie was made by an algorithm too.
Right.
And it's like the algorithm's loving itself. It's weird.
I was going into it, like when I started watching it, I'm like, I think I understand where the hate's coming from. I feel like this movie is going to be a pure ad, a 2-hour ad for everything that LeBron endorses and is. But after finishing it, I was like, there wasn't too much ad placement. There wasn't so much emphasis on like Nike and like Gatorade or stuff like that I would think he's trying to shove down our throat.
Mm-hmm.
But then I took another step back and I'm like, I think the real ad is that LeBron is the ad. Like, let's make LeBron even more relatable and even more this wholesome guy.
Mm.
So it's not so much an ad for Nike and Gatorade. It's an ad for the LeBron brand.
I think it's an ad for Warner Brothers with how much they like shoveled in every freaking IP they have and like everything. Like,
Yeah.
they know LeBron would attract every eye ever. So if they just show everyone like every single Batman, uh, Justice League, DC, everything Warner Brothers owns, Harry Potter was in it too. Like I think half the movie was just straight up them doing references to other things. And it's not like a reference actually, it's more like they just straight up show like a billboard of Batman.
Right.
Not literally, but it's what it feels like.
Yeah. There is a good portion of the movie, I would say at least 20% of it, where it's dedicated to finding the Looney Tunes, right?
Mm-hmm.
And in doing that, they have to go to different Warner Brother universes
Mm-hmm.
to retrieve them. I do think that's fun. Like the concept is fun,
Mm-hmm.
but the way it comes off, I don't know why. I can't pinpoint why. I guess because it's not really that organic.
Mm-hmm.
It comes off as like, sign up to HBO Max and you get to watch all of this. And I don't know if there's a way where they can, I guess, not force feed it to us and not make it seem so inorganic.
Just weird. Like they just should have not done server-verse. Keep it all animated, or maybe just choose one, like Justice League world, and like Bugs lost all his friends and they all got stuck in DC world.
Uh-huh.
And maybe just do that if they have to.
Right.
And I think that's okay enough. But to go through all of their IPs each, and it's just too much. Like I got tired.
We'll get into what we really didn't like more and what we liked from the movie, if anything, right after this quick commercial break. It's not even a commercial. I don't know why I say commercial.
Quick ad break.
Quick.
Brought to you by HBO and Warner Brothers.
Shout out to Warner Brothers. If you guys, I mean, I know we're ragging on you right now, like,
But we're sellouts.
we're sellouts. Do you want to put a little ad placement right here? Shout us out. We got 10 followers that wanna subscribe.
Mm-hmm.
We'll be right back.
Mm-hmm.
Ivan, let's compare as much as we can this movie to the original movie. One thing that I loved, absolutely loved about the original film is the music.
Yeah.
We had, I think it was Quad City DJs. Come and jam if you want to jam. You know, all that like techno.
Yeah.
All that music. Classic music. Plus they had like, I Believe I Can Fly by R. Kelly. I know we're not supposed to like that song anymore, but
It's a hit.
It's like, that is a weird thing. What's your opinion on canceled people and their art?
Well, for musicians, at least, they don't really make a ton of money from me streaming their music. So it's like...
Not anymore. Correct.
I'm like a drop, if anything. I don't really even listen to R. Kelly. Maybe occasionally I want to hear that song, but that's still like a drop of a drop of a drop because it's so rare. So I'm not going to lose sleep over that.
I think I agree with that. I also think that by listening to them, whatever drop they're getting, they're still getting a droplet in their bank, which is giving them some kind of ego, like, people still like me even though I did all these bad things.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm not so bad. So I think this is what you have to do. As part of their cancel, and if they're really like deserve to be canceled, which is a whole different subject, they need to give their share to the people they harmed. Like, okay,
Yeah.
R. Kelly, you now have to, we take your whole catalog and we're going to distribute all the plays to the people that you hurt, all these women, right? The 50 women.
Right.
Bill Cosby, all your comedy albums have to now go to these 100 women. That's disgusting, but it was like over 100.
Yeah.
And then it's gonna have the opposite effect. People are gonna want to play that music more to pay
support
those
them.
ladies out.
But then they're gonna make half that money. Is still gonna be more than that zero before. You know, like if before they're getting like 10 streams a month, and now like everyone knows they're getting
100 streams now. They transfer it, they get 100 streams, and now what happens?
now they know when if they stream it, they're gonna support the people.
Yep.
But it's still a lot more than the 100 streams a month. Now it's like 1,000 streams, but
Yep.
1,000 streams is now 500, right? If it's split.
No, don't split it. You take it all.
Oh, all of it goes to.
Yeah, all of it.
Oh, I thought you said.
No,
split.
no, don't split it.
Okay, then yeah, sure.
Anyways, the music of the original Space Jam was amazing. The music for this movie is just bad. It's not bad. I shouldn't say bad. It's just forgettable. Like
It's the state of rap.
oof, hot take.
If Kanye was making this album,
Just hold on. Anyways, there is one song of note, but it's not that good. It's the Just Blaze and Lil Baby collab, which is pretty important because Just Blaze is very accomplished and from another time, you can say 10 years ago would be his peak. But it's good to hear Lil Baby over that kind of beat. That being said, the rest of the album is just forgettable and it doesn't add anything to the movie.
yeah,
There's a point of the movie where they play like one of the original songs. I forgot which one it was. And you feel the energy in the movie just pick up a tad bit. I felt the exact same way when I was watching the new Mortal Kombat. And they played a souped up version of the original Mortal Kombat song at the very end. And I'm like, why didn't they play this earlier? It gives the movie so much life. And it shows how important music is. Like the original Space Jam, without the music, it's an okay movie. I mean, it's debatable if it's even a classic, but it's a weird classic just because of how it fit into culture at that time. But without that music, it's sort of like falls on deaf ears in a way.
Yeah.
Another thing about this movie. So the obvious big difference too is MJ and LeBron.
Come on.
It's interesting as a basketball fan to see this sort of knowing more of the inner workings, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because MJ is such a beloved person, basketball player too, that it's almost uncommon how beloved he is. Like it's religion wide, like religious type of beloved. He's only hated by like a couple cities, like New York hates him, and probably Indiana. It's meta if you know basketball, but LeBron, he's hated worldwide and loved worldwide, obviously too, but he's also hated worldwide. So it's sort of it's weird because you're making this movie with this guy who's supposed to be a hero, the protagonist, but a portion of the people want to see him fail.
But he's still like he's only hated in basketball, right? Are you talking about just like his public persona?
There's a part of his public persona that people that aren't into basketball do not like as well, because he talks about being this advocate for minorities, specifically black people, right? He wants to be more than an athlete. That's one of his slogans. And he does show up for African Americans in certain occasions. But one of the big things that he's criticized over is that China, I think this is sort of shows you how dumb I am, but they have like sort of this quasi imprisonment of a religious a particular sect of religious people in China, right?
Yeah.
When they question LeBron about it, he's just like, no, I don't want to talk about that. And people did not like that because it's like you advocate for like people of your color, but you're not going to advocate for people who are suffering in this part of the region. And why are you not doing that?
Money.
China is a big hub for Nike for basketball, and if he says something bad, then it affects his bottom
If
line.
I had his power, I would have so much fun making fun of like China and stuff. Just because like he can't be touched. Like he's gonna lose money, but he's like the biggest basketball player ever. What are they gonna do? Like what?
Well,
What, Adrian?
It's a very how would Jada Pinkett Smith say this? It's an entanglement.
Okay,
NBA is in cahoots with China too.
but what can they do to LeBron?
They'll shut off the valve of money that they're getting.
He's already rich.
He's rich, but everyone wants to be richer.
Then that's his fault. He's a dummy.
That's his fault, but it also falls to China's. I mean, sorry, to the NBA's bottom line.
Yeah,
And NBA doesn't want that either.
but like he's rich enough. Like at a point,
No, yeah.
like just
You're
say whatever.
talking logically to an illogical situation.
Yeah.
I agree with you. If I had the money, and it's easy for us to sit here on 6707 Blank Street in a small room
I will not change with money, Adrian.
I know, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
We live in a completely different world. I think his goal is to amass so much money,
He can drown that.
but I think he also wants to create real change in America.
I think if he wants that, he's going to have to lose money. Like, bottom line, you're going to lose money if you want to make change.
Yeah, it's very complicated.
Let me be clear. If I was not as rich, but like I was on the road to getting rich, yeah, I'd go in cahoots with China, like just for a bit. But like once I got LeBron status, then I'd be like, I just did it for the money, but I'm good now.
Right.
So you guys suck.
Well, it's funny too, cause like he didn't say anything about China,
Uh-huh.
but they're not playing Space Jam in China right now, and we'll talk about it later. But that's affecting this movie's success. So it's a very weird little controversy. Credit. Anyways,
Make a good movie, it won't affect the success.
that is sort of the difference between MJ LeBron, as far as the movie goes.
Yes.
The sort of love and hate relationship that LeBron has to the more love Michael Jordan had at that time.
Mm-hmm.
Also, another difference about this movie, like you said, the original was more tune focused,
Mhm.
cartoon based. It was Michael in a cartoon world.
Yeah.
This movie has LeBron animated in a cartoon world. It has LeBron in a real world with the cartoon CGI'd in.
Yeah.
I have mixed feelings about both of these things, but primarily, I do agree with you that the tune version, the Space Jam original, felt a lot more.
Heart. Like more
Yes.
heart.
Right. We said something like this before, like but it's the opposite side too. We said it about when directors use actual props
Mhm.
and places versus using CGI, that you feel it. The movie just feels better. Feels
Mhm.
more organic. It just feels better. You don't know. It's hard to explain, right? The original Space Jam felt better the way it was, the cartoon world it was in. This cartoon world, honestly, the animation, it just felt weird.
Because CGI sells now. Like, that's like why Disney doesn't make animated movies anymore. Because CGI is just kids want CGI now, that sort of thing. But they should have. If I were them, I would have done like all the Looney Tunes would be animated normally, and then the server people CGI. So it's like a mix, and you get like a little rest or just a change because it kind of all blends together with all the CGI, and they don't really look like themselves in their CGI form because it's hard to transfer like the art style from animated to CGI.
I agree with you on one point, and I disagree with you.
Tell
on one
me.
point. The one point I agree with you is that I would like to see that version of keep them not CGI'd, but just animated, cell animated, however they did it. But I didn't like how the animation looked. I just felt like the original Space Jam, their animation style was much better than this style, which seemed more flat. I don't know how to explain it because I'm not very well versed in animated, how they animate. But just the overall look of the animation didn't look as good as the animation did in the original Space Jam.
Probably like, I'm guessing the first one was hand animated. This one, they probably still use a lot of computer. Well, everything is computer animated now. Like even the 2D stuff, that's all computer.
Right. I should have looked that up, like how they did it.
You can't beat hand animation. Like I'm like 99% sure they used hand animation back then.
And then the other part, so I agree with you on that part, and I slightly disagree with you on the second part of it. But the part I don't agree is that I do really like them as CGI characters, even though they do blend in with everyone else. For me, seeing them in CGI, like when they transformed, I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. Like, you never get to see the Looney Tunes as CGI.
Yeah.
So I thought it was cool. But yeah, I guess that could be just me and
opinion,
right? And then I think it just goes back to the idiosyncratic nature of the original compared to this one. This one feels more force-fed, and that one felt more original. The fact that in the original you had like Larry Bird, Michael Jordan, and Bill Murray in a golfing, it felt fun. It felt like natural. And in this one, we have LeBron James literally feeling like the richest man alive in his like ultra rich, ultra magnificent mansion.
Like, I know Michael Jordan doesn't live in like a normal house, but in Space Jam, he
lives in a normal house.
Yeah, I know he doesn't live like that now, but
ever. Like at that point, he was probably living in a mansion too. But
yeah, but I don't know. I guess it's just me. I feel like it could be just me, biased because I experienced it like that, and I didn't really think about how he actually lived.
Yeah.
But it felt gross seeing LeBron in his super mansion and like his personal court, and his kids just being obscenely rich too. And
his robot that threw him a ball.
Yeah. It just feels wrong these days to be rich.
That's really true. Like, you can't be too rich now.
Yeah.
But I don't know how you fix that. Like, give
it away.
It should be okay to be rich.
Not like obscenely rich. Like, you only need like $5 million tops for your whole life.
That reminds me of Succession when Greg's like, cousin Greg, he's like, I just gave up $200 million. And then Connor's like, you gave up that much money? He's like, yeah, I think I could still make like $10 million. He's like, $10 million? That's worse than being poor. You can't do anything with $10 million.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Oh, man, I love that scene. And then Tom was like, yeah, man, you really messed that up. I don't know why you do that. And Greg was like, oh, God, I made a horrible decision.
Jesus.
Let's talk about some of the things that we do like about this movie. I don't know if you have anything. I do like that they did attempt to sort of bring in like current culture into the movie using some memes. For example, there's this part where Lola Bunny throws up a dunk, an alley-oop to LeBron, and he dunks it. And that pose is that they do as a signature pose photo that Dwayne Wade and LeBron did.
Yeah.
I like little stuff like that, how they sort of sneak it in. I wish it had more of that, though. Especially a movie that's targeted towards like kids, like a movie based around memes. Like not based around memes, but current memes that kids would understand would be amazing.
But it would age horribly.
That's true. But if you don't know about that alley oop photo, you don't know that what we just.
But it looks like it could be a throwaway. Like 50 years from now, that could just be a cool shot from the movie, and nobody would care. But the ones who know, it's like, oh, it's not just a cool shot; it's a reference to that.
But they have to make it in such a way where the meme doesn't. You don't need to know the reference.
Oh, well,
Just how you don't know the reference for the cool shot of the alley oop, right?
okay.
If they can do that well enough,
But
which
then,
is
like
a tall.
basketball memes then.
It could be basketball memes, but even a meme can be funny if you just take away the meme reference. Like if you translate
Okay.
that to a movie, but you have to pull it off. You have to be smart about it, obviously. It's
but,
hard.
But like modern memes are like TikToks. What? I don't know what you would do with that.
Well, no. Okay, for example, this is probably a bad example, but like the meme of the Game of Thrones guy, but from the Lord of the Ring movie, going like, it's not as. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Gollum?
What?
Gollum?
No, the dad from Game of Thrones that got killed in the season 1.
Okay. Yeah.
He's in
oh, I know.
where he's like,
yeah.
right?
Okay.
So if they do something like that,
Yeah.
where you don't need to know the Game of Thrones meme,
Yeah.
but if you do, it just adds another layer.
That sounds like a lot of work for.
It is a lot of work.
Not worth it.
But if you have if you do that, if you pull it off, you're talking about one of the greatest movies of all time. Because it's gonna hit for kids,
Okay.
for adults, extra hard who know the meme, and it's gonna work for people who don't know the meme.
I don't know. I feel like it works with that one basketball shot because it's.
Yes.
But I don't know how many memes would be able to have that like synergy.
So another one that works well, and it sort of tweaks the meme too. So it's the hip hop where Porky the Pig is rhyming,
Yeah.
right? And then like he lays a nice fat bar on him,
Yeah.
hot fire flames on him,
Yeah.
and then you see Tweety Bird going across the screen,
Yeah.
going, "Oh snaps!"
Yeah.
Right? I thought that was hilarious, but that's a reference to a meme where like all the kids are like going like, "Oh my god!" When do you remember that?
No.
You don't know that meme?
No.
There's a So did you think that part was funny? Not knowing the
I didn't
meme.
even remember that part.
Okay, I was cracking up because I knew the meme, but I also thought it was funny.
Mm-hmm.
But if you don't remember it, that sort of proves your point that it's like, I missed that. It wasn't even something I
Mhm.
noted. But maybe you weren't paying attention. I don't know. Like if you don't remember it at all, then it's obviously you didn't see that part, or you didn't
Yeah.
even remember that. But it stuck in my brain because I was like, oh, they're referencing that meme, but you didn't even catch it. So I don't know. I think it's possible. I think it's extremely hard. You have to have someone smart, a smart comedic director.
I would rather them just be funny in its own world, like this original
Yeah.
Space Jam,
Yeah.
just because it's feels more natural. Like it's too referential.
Yeah.
Like in a way, that's kind of lazy. Like I kind of off topic, but I was rewatching 30 Rock, and I was getting a little tired because like a lot of the references were either like things I don't know or I know them, but I know people won't get this in like another 5 years. And I'm like, oh geez, this is gonna be bad.
You were getting tired that you knew it, but that other people.
I was getting tired because like they're all like very tiny references to things, and I just want more like its own funny.
You don't want to know the history to laugh.
Yeah, like in spurts, I like that, but not when I was watching the show. Like it's the whole show's like that. So right now I'm changing my opinion on 30. Like it's a good show, but
Yes.
I don't know if I'm gonna watch it again.
Right.
Just because like I'm over that now.
Right. That style.
Yeah.
Gotcha. That makes sense. Going back to like the how they find the tunes, I do like how they go to different universes Warner Brother universes and look for these tunes. They go to the Matrix universe. They go to. I don't like the DC universe, so it was sort of hit and miss. I do like how Rick and Morty showed up and like, all right, we're done with this Tasmanian devil guy. He's a little too crazy for us.
I don't remember that.
Dang.
Guess I was
I think you tuned out.
traumatized.
I think you tuned out, and I think.
Tuned out?
Oh, it's important too to note that because like, that does happen when you watch movies that aren't catching your attention.
Yeah.
And I think this is a perfect example. It's like, first of all, it's not your type of movie.
Yeah.
Second of all, even if it was, I mean, since it was not your type of movie and it was bad, it's not going to register.
Yeah.
It's just going to come in one ear and out the other, and you will forget about most of the scenes. So, I don't know. I do think like a Phil Lord and Chris Miller would have tackled this movie a lot better, though.
They should just get good directors for things like this. Like, just movies that are supposed to be blockbuster.
At the end of the day, it's about money, dude.
They could have afforded it.
That's not what it is. If you get
Then-
Phil Lord, he's going to want to do Phil Lord and Chris Miller. They're going to want to do it their style. Once they see
And-
LeBron is like, no, let's make it more plain. And his people are like, no, let's make it more plain. We need it. We need to speak to a certain people. They're going to jump out. And that's the thing. It's not about, it's about money that the other people are losing out. Not
Mhm.
that the people that want to make good movies are missing out. Whatever. A couple of side notes. Speedy Gonzalez.
Racist.
It felt weird, right?
I don't care.
I don't care either, but I sort of like that he was like basically a cholo.
I like that he was in it because, I mean, I always liked him, and it was weird that people found him racist. Like, he was just a Mexican mouse. Like, he wasn't like, give me the beans.
I mean, I'm sure we could find the...
Yeah, but just change it a bit. You
Uh-huh.
still got Speedy Gonzalez on.
Yeah.
Mexicans love Speedy Gonzalez. I don't know.
To me, it's interesting because they took out Pepe Le Pew, who's the French womanizer, skunk,
Yeah.
which I guess they took him out not because he's French, but because he's a womanizer.
Yeah.
Kind of makes sense that they didn't take out Speedy Gonzalez because I guess he's not bad. He's just Mexican. But they did change like Babs' look and her sex appeal. So
Mhm.
the one of the big things about this movie and internet culture is that actually, let's take a short break and we'll talk about Babs. Back to Babs, Ivan.
Lola.
Is it Babs Bunny?
I always thought it was Lola Bunny.
Oh man, I feel so stupid now. The
I
whole
thought
time
that
I was
was
calling
like-
her Babs.
I thought that was like her real name, but her nickname was Lola. Like, that's what, when you said that, I was like, oh, I guess her nickname's Lola, but her real name's Babs. Like, I didn't question you.
I feel so stupid now.
I guess, I mean, we're both a little stupid.
Okay, Lola Bunny. In the original,
Where'd you get Babs?
I think it's Babs. I think she has like Babs hyphen Lola Bunny.
Okay, whatever.
Anyways, Lola Bunny. In the original, she was very sexualized.
Yeah.
They noted that.
Deleted it.
2021, they're like, let's delete that. We can't do that.
Uh-huh.
And there's like a section of the internet that was like, we want our original Lola back.
Mhm.
That's hilarious to me, just like that people care that much.
Mhm.
But I read something interesting on theringer.com. They interviewed a health counselor. Her name's Kathleen Gannon. And she says that basically the reason why people are really upset, like psychologically,
Uh-huh.
is that they grew up with someone who they sexualized
Uh-huh.
in their brain, and it creates this weird nostalgia,
Okay.
like kind of not obsessive, but like it gets ingrained in your head easier that way.
Okay.
So when you're growing up and you're a pubescent kid, that's gonna hit you a certain way. That way, when you're an adult and they change something, you're gonna get angry psychologically.
Okay.
And it's just interesting to see that, like, even this movie has this weird psychological. Obviously everything's like psychologically in tuned, but it's interesting that this dumb movie has that. It's so weird. So we were talking about China earlier and how it affected the success of this movie.
Okay.
Weird segue. This movie made around 35 million in the box office. Blah blah blah. Number 1 beats out Black Widow. This movie cost around 200 million to make.
Jeez.
I don't know. It's obviously much harder now to measure success when a movie's released on a streaming provider like HBO Max same day, because you have to take into account that people sign up to HBO just to watch this movie and to connect those like long tail dots is very hard.
You probably got like some algorithm to see, like, Space Jam came out, we got a bump, and they could probably instantly calculate it.
Right.
Like, they have to.
There's some calculation there,
Yeah.
right? Is that bump warranting the success of the? Is the bump
Was it worth it?
call this movie a success?
I don't know. I hope not.
I like it. Yeah, I think 30 million and let's say a 50 million bump in HBO subscribers, if it doesn't retain them, because that's another thing, like retention, right?
Yeah.
Retention of users.
I feel like for movies, like, as long as they get like a $100 million bump that month, they're like, okay, you guys can leave. Like, that little group or whatever.
Uh-huh.
Like, they'll allow a certain amount to leave after a month. Not allow, but
Be okay with it.
Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah, like I said, it's very hard to tell, and then you start taking into account like merchandise, but then you take into account like the advertisement to sell the merch and to sell, because this movie was everywhere. Like, they were trying to promote it everywhere.
Yeah.
LeBron did this disgusting thing, and I understand why people hate LeBron. He went to Puerto Rico, like on vacation or something, and he started taking pictures with like Bad Buddy. Like, he just went to their house and took a picture with him. He didn't say like, go watch the movie, but it's just like brand awareness, you know? And it works on some people, honestly. Like, I see it because I am in tune to that.
Mm-hmm.
But a kid scrolling Instagram who likes LeBron and Bad Bunny's like, okay, I need to watch the real Bad Bunny and LeBron.
Yeah.
Yeah. I even heard this stupid thing. Like, one of the producers was like, yeah, we're thinking about the next Space Jam. I forgot who they mentioned, like this action star. I'm like, it's not Space Jam at that point.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a Looney Tune movie with a different actor.
Yeah.
Can we not attach Space Jam?
Space Jam is basketball Looney Tunes.
Yes.
Anything else is Looney Tunes back in action too.
Even Tony Hawk, it's like, it's not a jam. Like, it's called Space Jam.
Uh-huh.
Jam, the word jam is because of like, it's a term used in basketball.
Yeah.
So if it's Tony Hawk, it's like X
Space.
Games. And it doesn't have to be it's not space anymore because they're in the universe. They're in a cyberverse.
Yeah.
Cyber Jam. That's what they should have called this movie. Not space.
They don't really have anywhere to grow. Like, if they're going the serververse again, like, what? You already kind of used that. Like, what's over that? Like, if they used like Toon World stuff, they can be like, oh, the evil Toon World or something, or Toon World 2. Just like, there's more room to grow with
Verse.
a Toon stuff than there is a server with an algorithm. Unless they just go back to it, but like, they kind of like Serververse felt like a leap and going back feels like going down, and I don't think they're gonna do that.
Let's just make it easy for them. Don't go back at all.
Cancel it. Oh, I hope they cancel
You
it.
can go just make like Looney Tunes. Add.
But it's gonna be all CGI.
I don't care. Just don't make another Space Jam. Just leave that dead.
Yeah.
It's extremely hard to make something like that.
I don't think so.
It is, because everything that they make basketball, NBA related, is going to be a money grab. And people are going to see that. They're going to smell that.
They just needed a solid tune plot. Throw a LeBron in. Like, the tunes need another basketball player.
There's too much money in it. You can't add the NBA.
They can't help but advertise. Is that what you're saying? Well, then that's their problem.
It is. And that's why me and you are just canceling them right now. You cannot make another Space Jam movie. It's over.
They're not. They're just. I don't know. Every year I'm like surprised they keep doing stuff like this, like make not good movies, even though there's like so many sources to tell them like how to do it right. Like, I'm not saying listen to us and you'll make $10 trillion, but you just listen to something with a brain for like 2 minutes and you'll figure out this wasn't the way to go.
I think they think it's easier than it's... Because honestly, this movie doesn't try to do anything new, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's like in the middle of the road of everything.
Yeah.
It doesn't really fail outright in anything. So I think they thought they were making like an okay movie that was going to make millions of dollars.
People don't want okay anymore.
Yes.
And they still can't figure that out.
They still don't realize that yet.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the best scenes, Ivan. I'm just going to say, I like when they go to Mad Max, Austin Powers.
Yeah, I like those two.
And I like the Matrix one.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was a good scene. I also like the scene where Sylvester's like, guys, I know how we're going to come back after being down 1,000 to 2. Michael Jordan. And then they play. And you're like, oh, yeah, here we go. Cameo time. But it's Michael B. Jordan. An incredible twist. I love it.
That's good.
Yeah. I
Like,
that.
that's good. That was good.
More of that.
Yeah.
When the tunes started tuning out and doing their tune thing
Mm-hmm.
and made the comeback, I like that.
Yeah.
Like,
It made sense.
Bugs was like going old timey. He's like, and we're here live. I'm like, oh, I like that little thing. Like, more of the tuneness. Like,
yeah.
Get more tune into this movie. Less LeBron. Less. That's another thing. I think the original movie worked because like it was very tune focused.
Yeah.
And not so much like Michael's story. Like all Michael wanted to do was get back out and see his son.
Yeah.
In this movie, it's like LeBron's like, "It's okay, son. I love you. You can."
I felt that was a gross because it's like not actually his son.
Yeah.
So it feels like. I hope you told your son this.
That's another thing I was thinking about too. Yeah.
It just feels wrong. Like.
What does his son think?
Like, I wish my dad said that to me.
He does.
Yeah, but like,
to me, it's more like, why can't I be in this movie?
you
like-
thought that?
No, not me.
Okay.
Oh God, no.
Like, oh, you. Got
No, like the
issues.
son. Like
yeah,
he's
yeah,
like,
yeah.
I could do enough.
Yeah. It just felt like LeBron was like, I gotta like make people realize how good of a person I am. Like, I can change and be better, and I'm a good father. Like, it felt like that.
I do like how LeBron was like the corny dad too. Like he wasn't straight up like a superhero.
But it was like, it was corny that he was corny. Like, it wasn't.
Yeah, that's true.
Like,
Okay, I'll take it
good
back.
kind of corny.
I know. Right when I said it, I want to take it back, but I think my favorite scene was the hip hop battle.
Yeah, it was good.
I liked it because Algae Rhythm accidentally raps,
Mm-hmm.
and then like they play Flavor in Your Ear beat in the background, and then Daffy Duck's, "Are we rapping now?
Yeah.
We rapping?" And I just like that comedic tone, just like,
That was all good. Like just the tune stuff. That's where they got it right.
yep.
Like that one section. But
And the corniest part of that wasn't that the pig was rapping. It was when LeBron's like, what's the pig's name? Sorry.
Porky Pig.
He's like, "Yo, hey Porky, fry them." You know?
I feel like that's racist or something.
But you know what I mean? That was
Yeah.
like the corniest part.
Yeah.
That just shows you like what's wrong and what's good about the movie.
Yeah.
What's the best cameo? Who did the best?
There's just too many.
Michael B. Jordan then.
Yeah, I guess.
Let's make it easy on you. Best tune.
Yeah, I didn't like I know you didn't ask this, but I didn't like the alcoholic granny. That was weird.
Alcoholic.
She had like a martini glass for like 20 minutes.
I didn't even realize that.
I see it all.
But we're saying best tune, not like most
Worst.
inappropriate tune.
I like the red dude, just 'cause he's, I don't know.
Oh, Longhorn, Foghorn, or whatever.
Yeah.
Leghorn, Foghorn. Yeah, I like his attitude. I honestly, the most underrated tune is Daffy Duck. Like he's better than his type of character is better than Bugs Bunny.
Yeah, sure.
I get it, Ivan. Best Goon Squad member. I like Klay Thompson as Wetfire. I like how he's hot and he's cold. So stupid. But
I don't know.
it's okay if you don't have one. I
I
just
was
wanted
kind of
to.
over all of them. Like I like the Monstars.
Yeah, I know.
Those were classic.
The Monstars were good because they weren't just like cool. They were stupid,
Yeah,
and they had their own little personality.
yeah.
Like the tall blue guy, Sean Bradley's character was like, "Oh, what up? Hey man, you want to play?" Then there's like the vicious one, the little pissqueak. "Hey man, my name is."
Yeah. But the Goon Squad, they're like all just evil people.
All like super villains.
Yeah, with cool powers.
Ivan, let's rate this movie. We're rating now out of a system of tickets. 1 ticket, 2 ticket, 3 1 to 5 tickets, okay?
Jesus.
I don't know why I'm numbering all the tickets, but tickets in the sense of movie tickets,
Come on.
just to give you a visual. So out of 5 tickets, what would you give this
Give
movie?
it 2 tickets.
I'll give it 2.5 tickets.
Coward.
That's averaging a D. You got an F.
Well, if you're gonna put it in that score,
Okay, sorry. I shouldn't even say that. It's a 2 out of 5 tickets. It's a
2
bland.
out of 5, aka 4 out of 10.
I know, right? It's a bland movie that doesn't do enough. It relies on the typical tropes. LeBron
Sucks.
sort of sucks in this movie. I do like the idea, but the execution is just off.
It's more ad than movie. Like ad for LeBron, ad for Warner Brothers IPs, ad for Looney Tunes, ad for ads, ad for the algorithms. I don't know.
So 2.
Out of 5.
Give it a 2.5 out of 5 tickets. Thank you, Space Jam. We will not see you again. That's it for this portion of the show. Thank you for listening. If you've been listening this long, now we're going to talk about the movie we're going to talk about next week. Just like we're going to pick the movie we're going to talk about next week.
Okay.
There's 2 movies. Maybe there's another one for you, but I think there's only 2 movies in your eyes. Snake Eyes or Old?
Old.
Old it is.
I'm never gonna watch Snake Eyes. I already saw the movie in my head. Like that's how
I
obvious.
know.
that movie- I want to puke right now. Actually.
Okay. Shout out to Snake Eyes only because you're getting some Asian representation finally.
I guess.
Asian superhero. They did it before Disney. How about that?
I don't care.
Okay, old. It's gonna be the movie of next week's du jour. It's the movie M. Night Shyamalan's new movie. It looks interesting, at least. Don't talk about the ratings if you've read about them or
I have
anything.
not. I was just. I feel like I don't know. It looks bad, honestly.
Oh wow,
Like
that's your prediction.
yeah.
I think it's gonna be good.
Well, I mean, it could be good, but I saw the trailer like, wow, this is bad. Like, this is gonna be bad.
Interesting. I thought the opposite. I think the trailer really sold like.
It
Oh
just
man.
feels like such a weird idea. Like I don't know. Maybe he could pull it off, but it feels. I don't know what's the end. They're young again.
Ivan, you're thinking so logically. Like, all right, if they're old, what are they gonna be in the end? Like, who cares?
But like, what's the moral?
Do you get that from any trailer? You get that from Get Out?
Yeah, don't trust white people.
Ah, get out of here. People want to see confrontation. Let's fight right now.
Okay.
Ivan, it's time for a section. Actually, short break, and then we'll get back to that. Ivan, it's time for a section we like to call
Things and such.
Okay, anything you watched recently? Any shout outs you want to give to?
Saw Billy and Mandy, the cartoon. The Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy. Been revisiting my childhood.
How's that holding up?
Classic.
Is it?
Yes.
Nice.
Formative for me.
Yeah.
I got a lot of my personality from that show.
Just the dryness.
Yeah, I just watched them like, wow, I am not original. Like, I just see myself a lot in that show.
Can you give me a show to watch, and that way I'm like, okay, I understand Ivan more
That
than
show.
What?
That show.
No, one episode. I mean.
Oh. I guess. Yeah. I mean, I'll
do that so I can understand your persona better.
Okay.
Anything else?
Nope.
I watched Fear Street, the movie, the first movie on. It's a 3-part movie series on Netflix.
What the heck?
It's a horror anthology, whatever. It's based off R.L. Stein's books. I watched the first movie, and it's good. It goes back to what we were talking about, like Quentin Tarantino, watching films just for funsies.
Mm-hmm.
I knew what I was getting into. It's a horror film, but it's set in 1994, has like that kind of vibe. I love like the way it's shot. They use a lot of color, a lot of like neon colors. I'm a sucker for shiny things, so I liked it. And it's like a straight up horror movie. It's fast, it's fun. I would recommend it if you're just like want to watch a good horror movie. Loki, did you watch anything?
Nah,
Okay.
I need to log in
Okay. Do you want that?
eventually.
Okay, good trip. Hey guys, I'm hooking them up, okay?
Yeah.
Movie news.
Dun, 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 dun.
Justin, Nope. The new Jordan Peele movie coming in 2022 is called Nope. Evan, what is your immediate
I
reaction?
saw a cloud. I was like, this is going to be trash. I don't know. It's just a poster.
I know.
Interesting name. Like, interesting poster. Like, I don't know.
I love good posters, and it's a good good poster.
It's like, what? Who names it? Nope. Like, it could mean anything, but like, it draws you in.
So I think Jordan Peele is the director with the shortest average movie titles. He has Get Out, 6 characters.
Mm-hmm.
What's the other one? Us,
I think so.
2 characters.
Nope.
4 characters.
Yeah. It's cool.
Minus 4 plus 2. The next one's going to be plus 8. It's going to be a long title. It has to be. Anyways, I'm just excited for a new Jordan Peele movie next year. Let's do it, baby.
I wonder if it will be race related or, I don't know.
I think it will be. I think that's his tendency.
It's MO.
Yeah. We'll get to that later. Another movie trailer that came out, The Last Duel. Ivan, did you see this? Heard about it? Ben Affleck and the legend Adam Driver star in this film.
Netflix movie?
No, I think theaters.
Good.
Written by Ben Affleck and Matt Damon.
What?
Wait, what did I say? Who stars in this movie?
Ben Affleck and Adam Driver.
Okay. Ben Affleck is in this movie, but it's mainly about Matt Damon and Adam Driver. I think the premise is 1500s time, medieval.
Mm-hmm.
The wife of Damon gets seduced / adultered / raped by Driver's character.
Okay.
She accuses of it. Driver denies it. Now Damon has to stand up for his wife, and they have to duel to the death.
Okay.
I think it's directed by Ridley Scott. So we got Driver, we got Damon, we got Affleck, and we got the legend of Ridley Scott. Medieval times.
I'm in.
Actors acting, baby.
I'm in already.
All right, sold them. Go watch the trailer. I think you'll like it.
Okay.
Another trailer that came out, Ivan, and this one I'm particularly excited about. Dune.
I didn't watch it.
Really?
I'm just not gonna. I'm gonna wait till it comes out.
Have you seen the movie posters?
Yeah.
You seen the character posters?
Yeah.
Do you know anything? Do you know like if they're keeping as close to the original as possible? Like, do you know that kind of stuff?
I read a while ago that he was like keeping it as close, but he was gonna beef up the women's roles because he felt like they didn't have strong enough roles in the book.
Correct.
And I know there's like a little controversy from the nerds, like you can't give women powers. But other than that, like I heard it's pretty faithful.
Okay. They switched a man's character to a woman's character.
Okay.
But stuff like that. I saw the trailer. I'm excited. I'm 600 pages in.
You're almost there.
I'm almost there. Things are clicking. One thing doesn't make sense. I'll figure that out later. But I'm excited for Dune. What I don't understand though is I know you talked about it too, that they're trying to make 2 films out of the movie.
Yeah.
They haven't greenlit the second movie though, and it's based off the success of the first movie.
I thought it was like he wouldn't do it unless he gets 2.
I don't know.
That's what I heard.
I've tried to read more upon it, but I haven't read anything like that.
I
But
mean,
maybe it's true.
I think it's too big to fail, honestly.
But there's another part of it where it's gonna come out on the same day on HBO Max.
Mm-hmm.
So like the success idea, right? Like, how are you gonna? What if it doesn't make 100 million in the box office?
I think it's too big. Like, either way, like either it's gonna make a ton on the box office or a ton on HBO. Because I'm gonna watch it.
But it's a movie based off a book made in the 60s
But
that
with
hasn't
like
had a lot.
Zendaya,
I know.
Jason
Good
Momoa,
Good casting.
Timothy Chalamet,
We stand our boy Dave Bautista,
Dave Bautista,
Oscar Isaac.
Oscar Isaac.
We're gonna sign up. I'm just scared that they don't make a second movie and the movie looks good. And I'm like, how are you not gonna make the second movie?
Yeah, sure.
And I wonder if like they're like, psych, this movie's 2 in 1.
I don't think I don't think Denis would sacrifice anything. I think
He said that. He's like, I don't want to make it because there's too much in it.
Yeah, I think he wouldn't make it unless he got enough room, which is 2 movies.
I agree. Ivan, are you ready?
Yeah.
You ready for this?
Yes.
Should we take a short break?
Okay.
Should we?
You lost my energy. Just take the break.
No, let's do it.
You already lost it.
How do I say
Kanye West. The latest and greatest mind of our generation is releasing his 10th album, Donda, with Child.
Wait, what? With Child? What is that?
It was like that's what it used to be called.
Oh. Yes, Kanye is coming out with an album tomorrow, right? Or tonight.
Something. Probably won't
Um,
be out till like Tuesday, honestly.
really?
Yeah,
God, I want to listen to it like tomorrow morning.
it is what it is.
Whatever. At least we're getting it this week, right? So he comes out saying, Ivan speculated
I knew it.
last week that he had a listening session in Vegas. Comes out to be true.
I called it, and you're like, if I haven't heard about it, it's probably not happening.
And then he comes, Kanye posts on Instagram, first time in a while, of like is it his album? No, not his album cover, but like a fit pic, right?
Yeah.
And the fit pic is all straight up French designer house things. Bottega Veneta. Rick Owens.
Yeah.
Saint Laurent.
Reminiscent of Yeezus.
Reminiscent of Yeezus. He even has a gold glove reminiscent of Michael Jackson. He has a face mask reminiscent of Yeezus era attire.
Mm-hmm.
Immediate impressions was it might be like God mixed with Yeezus.
Mm-hmm.
Mixed with like, yeah, God mixed with Yeezus, right?
Yeah.
What are your opinions?
Come on. Classic. This is going to be 10 out of 10. Are you dumb? Are you stupid?
I just don't.
I think
Not until I see it will I believe it.
Like, what do you mean?
Not until I hear it will
What do
I
you-
think it's actual 10 out of 10. But right now, I think
Oh.
it's going to be at best an 8 out of 10.
Nah.
Like nothing. There's nothing to prove that he has it still.
It feels serious.
That's
Like-
the thing. Yeah, that's a good thing.
Like, this, it feels like Yeezus inspiration, and like Yeezus, like that's like Yeezus is Yeezus, and this rollout. I mean, like this listening, concert he's doing. That was like the life of Pablo, and that's the life of Pablo. Like,
I have to disagree, actually.
what do you
I'll
mean?
take it back. This doesn't feel as planned as I thought it was.
What do you mean?
The fit pick, I think it did its job and it triggered everyone's brain to think Yeezus immediately.
You think he's calculating this?
He always calculates it, but I don't think he's putting as much effort into it as he did with other albums.
Why?
Because there's not as much of a rollout as like Life of Pablo, Yeezus, and all that.
I think he's like, I'm done playing games. I'm just gonna make the album and destroy it, and then no rollout besides like a couple days. I'm just gonna release it, cause like, and I think like he doesn't need a rollout.
I agree. But I think for me, the lack of rollout tells me it's not going to be as good. And I think
Nah.
that's just psychology. No. I don't know why my brain is thinking that, but my brain is saying like he's showing that he's putting it. Okay, this is what it is. I'm putting it out so fast that it means that little to me. If I invested more time in a rollout, that means it's going to be a banger.
because I think the rollout is like super.
I don't know why I did that.
Creep me out.
I know.
Honestly. The rollout is super behind the scenes because he's supposed to be on Rolling Loud, and that's not something you do in a week. He has the stadium book. That's not something you do in a week. He had the listening party like a week ago. That means it's already been done. The album. He has merch going. Like I saw pictures of merch from this event.
Is it good?
Doesn't happen. Not really. But it's like July 23rd. Mercedes-Benz Stadium, Atlanta, and then it has a picture of Donda as a kid.
Ah, come on.
But still, that doesn't happen in a week.
It does, because that stuff isn't even made yet.
Well, okay, the merch can, but everything else I said doesn't happen in a week. And these are songs that he's had for
Literally,
a while.
this is all it takes for him to have a listening party. Hey, Tyler. Vegas. Come down.
That's how to book a stadium, to get the infrastructure of selling the tickets to the masses. These are songs he's had for a while, too.
8 out of 10.
10 out of 10. I will not settle for less.
If it's less, if it's an 8 out of 10 or less, what will you think?
I won't. I don't think I could register an 8 out of 10 Kanye album. It's like 9.8 or 9.9 or 10.
But if it's not, what will you do?
What do you mean? I don't think any album is 8 out of 10 from him.
So you think...
Correct.
Wait, you think...
Correct. I'm Jesus is King.
You think that's a 9.8 out of 10?
I think that's like a 9 out of 10. But like realistically, it's like a 7 out of 10.
Oh. So you're telling me the bias is like so hard for you that like...
Yeah, it's like 10.
That's bad, Ivan.
But I said realistically, it's 7 out of 10.
Okay, so realistically, if this album is less...
Realistically, it's a 10 out of 10 too. I have to listen to it. I can't judge it right now.
I know, but I'm saying theoretically, if this album sucks, if it's less than what we expect of Kanye.
What would I do?
Yes.
Go on with my life, Adrian.
And what will you think of Kanye in his next phase?
Think he still has another hit in him. Next time we're good.
What do you think that he put Nike socks in the fit pick?
I don't think about that.
But you know that's calculated.
Nah, I think he just likes Nike. Like you can't not like Nike.
But socks?
What do you mean? He has to wear socks.
But like out of all your clothing pieces, Nike socks?
I don't know. I think like if it was calculated, he's like, I'm just gonna do this to mess with people because they know I'm Adidas. But like that's the extent of his calculation.
Notice there was no Adidas in his attire. No Gap in his attire.
Yeah.
He's a troll.
Yeah.
Through and through.
Yeah.
He knows how to tickle people's brains.
Yeah.
I do think if this album has one hit and is critically acclaimed,
Mm-hmm.
the Gap stock is going to go up because like his merch is really going to sell.
Yeah.
And that's, I think, the bigger play because he knows music is not what is not what makes money. Music creates the hype to make money other places.
Yeah.
So it's a weird game he has to play.
And a game he could play easily.
Not by his last two albums.
Play it like a fiddle.
To be honest, like that Wyoming album sucked, right?
Which one?
The Wyoming album.
Yee?
Yeah.
Wrong.
It was good?
Yeah, that was the 10 out of 10.
Jesus Christ. What am I doing?
At worst, that album had like some of like two of his best songs. Like at least it could be in his top 10.
Which ones?
Ghost Town, Violent Crimes. Those could easily be a top 10 song.
I ain't tell us on the album. I never heard it before.
Shut up.
Just kidding. Okay.
Shut your face.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about it next week. We'll see where Kanye goes. It's exciting. Drake's album's gonna be better, but I'll let Ivan understand that. Audibly.
Wrong.
It's gonna be so good when I'm right.
Kanye versus Drake fan.
We need that.
It's gonna be a battle.
I think it's not gonna happen, but I would love to have that as a fan of music. And
What, them released at the same day or what?
no, just a battle between them two.
I heard they're on good terms.
Yeah, me too. Unfortunately. Ivan, anything else?
No.
You sure?
Yeah.
I'm watching Mad Men again. Just
Good.
thought I should let you know.
Very good. Healthy.
Taking notes. People, we'll be back next week. Thank you for listening, for watching. If you're listening and watching this long, we'll be back next week to talk about old. So tune in for that. Again, please hit subscribe on the subscribe button. Peliculas with the Bros. We're on all podcast platforms. Leave a comment. We'll try our best to get back to you. Most likely, we will get back to you. We'll be back next week. My name's Adrian.
My name's Ivan.
Peace out.
Bye.